Okay, everyone, welcome to another episode of Love Your Love Muscle here on Telegram, Fireside, and Second Life. Good to have you all here, and welcome to those that are listening in on the recording as well. Glad you made it and are interested in this session that is all about human connection, real human connection. And of course, we're going to do a guided meditation as well to let you experience some of the techniques we do to establish a stronger connection between human beings, between people, even between people and animals, as I will explain a little later. So I hope you're all doing good. If there are any questions, type them in the chat. On Telegram, I can't see you, so you can type them in. I can answer them afterwards or in our next session on Second Life and on Fireside. Feel free to jump on board, and even on Fireside, you can ask to come on stage if you want to. And participating in online sessions makes that you also are connecting better with people. A good example of that is a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, I must say, so quite a time ago, we had an interview with someone, a coach, I think, yeah, a coach it was, and she was saying some things, she were giving some advice, and people chimed in with questions, and the whole atmosphere of the whole show changes that way. You notice right away connections being established, even if it is online. Usually, I don't like online participation that much because of the lack of connection, especially the lack of connection between hearts and feelings and emotions. They don't really come through, especially not if you, for example, uh, are hiding behind an avatar of another person or something like that. It works, but it's not that kind of connection that we have, for example, when we do our group sessions, our group meditations. Like I started recently outside of my house, on the backside of my house. It's a big nature reserve, and every summer we do summer meditations there. It's free; people can just join in, come along, don't have to register anything. And sitting in a group with people, doing a guided meditation. We are outside, so we base it on nature. We listen to nature. We incorporate nature in the meditation. Doesn't only create a connection between the people in the group, but also a connection with our surroundings, with the nature around us. That is something that you can't create digitally, online, or anything like that. So, even though there are connections, like the technical connections, the electric connections, etc., you don't get that real human feel, that in depth connection. Another example of connections are our connection sessions that we have started at Arcadia here in my hometown, um, with the wonderful Ellie Jane, who does sound healing and a sound bath at the same time as we do a guided meditation. Again, lots of people coming. We're sitting there in real life, face to face, heart to heart, as I will say soon too. And you notice there's a whole different atmosphere. The power is there. You can feel it. You can sense it. It's really magic. And you notice that people are spending time more and more online on social media, and especially asocial media. Asocial media is what I call meta-owned social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, TikTok as well. It are those platforms that have a lot of commercial activity on it and advertisement. They are, I call them asocial media because they aren't really for connecting people. They are for connecting companies, businesses with customers. That's what those social platforms are for. True social platforms where there is more connection, real connection, I must say, is Vero True Social, which is a social network where you don't find advertisements, where you don't find bots, and which reminds me, I will actually post something in the fortune cookie on Fireside and also on the chat in Second Life. Let me do it right away. You there have my Vero True Social and our website that you can join, and you can watch recordings there for sessions. Um, hey, Rimmel, good to have you here. Wonderful. So, a social media Meta owned, especially, and TikTok, Snapchat. Not so much, I notice, but yeah, it is an advertisement platform as well. They are meant to lure you in. You get that fear of missing out, as they call it, isn't it? You have to return every time and see what's new with your fans or whatever. They are very harmful for your mental health if you don't watch out. And I can recommend trying Vero True Social, which is exactly the opposite of Meta-owned platforms. And there I noticed there are better connections. It's still online, so it's not like being in person, but yeah, it is better because there are real humans there. Even the platform owners are there, and the support are real humans too. And you see that human touch there, which creates better connections than having your whole social platform run by algorithms, and there are so many bots and fake accounts there that it's just, yeah, it's horrible. I am not there anymore. I only advertise there because that's what the platforms are for. But I'm not there personally anymore. I'm on Vero True Social if you want to get in touch with me there, or you get in touch with me through our website. And want to get back to connections, and then especially the heart connection, the connection between our hearts, because there is also a thing. Therefore, we need to be together in one space. And yeah, people say we are connected, we are one through the electromagnetic field of the earth. I explain that in my workshops as well. But the connection isn't that strong unless the people that are apart, uh, several thousand miles away, have been in touch in person before. Then you will notice that connection also functioning with several miles away distance, if not thousands of miles away. Family members as well. You can notice that connection. There's a wonderful research done on the connection between a child and their mother, done by the HeartMath Institute, where they measured heart rate variability between the mother and the child right after birth. And this is then mothers that give birth at the hospital, and then the child is being taken away right after birth to another room for examination. And during the study, they, I think what they did, yeah, they gave children an injection. I don't know what some medicine they get, but they do that often with babies. And that, of course, hurts. And that will make the heart rhythm variation of the baby change very quickly to a more irregular rhythm. And the baby is already in a little bit of stress, of course, because it's taken away from the mother and it's a new environment. But you see that the moment they give that little baby an injection, the mother's heart rate changes as well. Well, the mother is actually just laying down and resting. So there you have the heart connection, and the baby is just in another room, several meters away from the mother, but they don't see each other. They are connected through the heart, and the heart electromagnetic field is amazing. It's measurable several feet away from us, but most likely it's even bigger. And as long as it's measurable, it's also we also see that it contains information. And what kind of information does it contain? It contains information about our feelings and emotions. Our state of being is inside our heart rhythm, our heart field. All the frequencies, amplitudes, that's information that's inside that field. And researchers from Motorola have tried to measure that field and the changes in frequency. And they see that the moment we change the state of being from, for example, a stressful state to a calm state, a dreaming state, or a very powerful self-empowering state, they see the information, they can't decode it, they can't read it like, oh, you are in that state of this state, but they see it changing, they see the frequency range changing, they see the amplitudes, the wavelength changing. And one thing that is common between all those states of beings, or between several states of being, is you see a difference between a stressful state of being and a calm state of being. No matter what kind of state of being it is, as long as it's calm, we see that that field of the heart gets bigger. It has more energy, more power, and it's also more coherent because our heart rhythm variation becomes more coherent as well. And since electromagnetic fields influence each other, you can imagine that once one person in a group regulates the heart rhythm variation, becomes calm, also makes their electromagnetic field of the heart more powerful, it will influence the other electromagnetic fields around it from the other people in the room. So we are all being influenced by that strong electromagnetic field from the heart, from that person that is in a calm, open state and radiating compassion, gratitude, care, for example. And we see every week now when we do those connection sessions here in town, when we focus on our heart, we do a guided meditation on our heart, and we are getting on and getting in a deeper meditative state, and we change our state of being to that of gratitude, care, compassion, admiration. The whole room changes. The space where we are in changes, and it becomes a caring, healing space. So we have some wonderful experiences. Last Friday when we had the session, we had a woman over that had problems with her back, and she had a stiff neck, for example. And though she had some other troubles as well that kind of kept her out of getting into a deep meditative state, she still noticed that after that session, her neck was much better than before. And because we are healing each other, whether we want it or not, if we create a space together of care, compassion, gratitude, admiration, whatever, those positive healing kinds of frequencies, we are healing each other for no matter what we try to do. You can't stop it. So a wonderful, wonderful experience. And today I want you to practice that. I want you to practice creating such a field with your heart. And I want you to go out this summer and be in environments. If you're still working, if it's not your summer vacation yet, create that field amongst your colleagues, for example. You don't have to say anything in the room where you gather to eat lunch, for example, the lunchroom. You can sit down and just be quiet and create that field, create that state of being and radiate it outwards. And notice what happens to your colleagues. You can do it in a family situation. You can do it if you have a children's party and children are a little bit aggressive play, for example. Instead of asking them to stop, try to create a state of being that you want to see in the children you have in the room, and sit there and be powerful and notice what happens. Kids are very sensitive to that. They won't say it, but you see it in their behavior. Like, oh, hey, something's changed. They go naturally with that. Animals, likewise. Our state of being, animals are extremely sensitive to our electromagnetic field. They use it as communication, especially cats, for example, but also horses. There's done lots of research between the connection between our hearts, between horses and human beings. Fantastic research, how we can change our state of being and also change the state of being of the horse and vice versa. Wonderful research, and that is how we all connect. So real connections, not online, though there is connection there. it's not the same as real human connections. They are so much powerful when you do it in real life. So, take home message before we get started with the session. Um, Real connections, real life connections, being with people in a group has tremendous benefits, not only with a connection from our heart, but also social. Socially, it's much better for us. It's more healthy for us in many, many ways. Um, Online connections, they are there, yes. There's no doubt about it that there is no connection. That's not true. But it's not so effective. And please, 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 I say it many times, you must be tired of it. But for your own mental health and sake, stop using social media. If you want to use social media, find social media platforms like Vera True Social, Mastodon, for example, if you want a Twitter alternative, that have no advertisement, that are purely there for social interaction, to spread news, to talk, to chat, to share your experiences, share your ideas, be expressive, but stop using advertisement-based social media. Those are social media. You are the customer. You are being tricked into getting back over and over and over again, and it's so destructive for your mental health. Some people cope pretty well with it, but I know many people who get tired of it, who know they feel bad afterwards, feel bad during they use it. So stop doing it. Quit Facebook, quit Instagram, quit TikTok, and maybe Snapchat as well, uh, for your own health and that of others as well. Try to get your family and friends with you. Okay, let's get started. Let me see some comments. Same with animals, animal mothers, said Remel. I guess that was the comment on having the mother and the baby in separate rooms. Yes, absolutely. There's such the connection between a mother and a child that lasts a lifetime, and probably beyond that, well, maybe lifetimes even. It's such a strong connection. Let me see. Les says hi. Hi, Les. Good to have you here. Wonderful. That's on Fireside for those that are listening in to the recording. Okay, find a comfortable position. Make sure you have good enough support, and let's practice some heart connection. The technique, for those that are joining in often, is familiar. It's heart-brain coherence or heart coherence, but we focus today on creating a space around us that can influence others. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, center yourself. Let the day go. One more time, a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And close your eyes if you want to. Feel yourself getting centered. And now just breathe normally. Just breathe normally. And for a moment, notice where in your body you feel your breath the most. Maybe you feel your breath the most in your nostrils. Maybe you feel your breath the most in the back of your throat. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in your chest or your tummy. And focus on that point in your body where you feel your breath the most. Put your awareness there. And notice how you are breathing through that point. Do you notice the colder air flowing in? And warmer air flowing out? And as you breathe through that point. Now try to breathe a little slower and a little deeper through that point. Nice, slow, calm, deep breaths through that point where you feel your breath the most. Just choose a rhythm that is comfortable for you, but make it slower than usual. Slower and deeper. Wonderful. Now let's move that focus point. Let's move your focus and awareness into the middle of your chest, right there where your heart is. Just try it. And if that doesn't feel comfortable for you, don't do it. Just keep breathing to your original focus point. For the others, go to your heart space. Focus on your heart. And now imagine that you are breathing through your heart. Just imagine. Imagine that you are breathing through your heart. Same nice calm tempo. Nice deep breaths through your heart. And by breathing through your heart like this, by this special focus, you create a heart rhythm variation that is very coherent. That's where we want to be. We want that coherent heart rhythm. And when we do that, the electromagnetic field around our heart gets stronger, it gets a little bigger. And maybe you can even imagine that field around you. Just imagine it as a soap bubble. And you being inside that soap bubble. You can even imagine as you breathe in, imagine that bubble expanding, that electromagnetic field expanding. And as you breathe out, it contracts a little bit again. So keep breathing through your heart. Become also aware of that field around you. That strong, beautiful field your heart creates. And now let's fill that field with positive feelings and emotions. So maybe you can think about a time in your life where you felt joy, appreciation, gratitude, care, or compassion. This could be something from the past. This could be something you are looking forward to. A situation you're looking forward to where you most likely will feel joy, appreciation, care, compassion. Some people just like to create those feelings and emotions right away, right here. Finding a person, a loved one, a pet they care for, they care about, they love so much, they feel compassionate about. Or maybe they just feel gratitude for the day. Just find something. There's always something to be grateful for. Always something or someone to care for. Okay. Don't think too much about it. Pick something and visualize being in that scene, in that situation, in that moment. Not only see it in front of you, but Experience it as if it is happening right now, as if you are there right now. And fill your whole being with that experience. And really go for it. Breathe through your heart, nice and calm, deep breaths, and create that experience inside of you. It is happening right now, really go for it. And if you notice a smile on your face, if you notice the warmth going through your body, that's just perfect. It just means your body is reacting on the inner experience. And now once you have filled your whole body with that feeling of care or gratitude or compassion, joy, appreciation, radiate it outwards. When you fill your body up with that feeling and there's no more room to put in more feelings and emotions there, radiate it outwards into that field, into the electromagnetic fields of your heart, into your heart field. Almost like you're becoming a light bulb, radiating outwards all that wonderful information. Become that light, compassion, care, gratitude, joy, appreciation. Radiate outwards into that field. Keep breathing through your heart and see that information being picked up by other heart fields around you, from people around you, maybe in another room. Radiate it outwards. Let that information flow outwards. Let it influence other people, other beings, pets, animals, plants, everything that lives. Beautiful. And know that the more people that are in that same frequency, the more people do that when they are together. Science shows that it can even influence the electromagnetic field of the earth. And then we're talking about a real internet, a real psychic internet, where you can send that information into the world, around the globe. That's something that Buddhist monks do every day. They set the intention for a peaceful world every day. And now you're doing it too. That's how powerful our heart is. Okay, now let it go. Get back to yourself again. And of course, you want to keep those nice warm feelings of gratitude and joy, appreciation. You want to keep those with you throughout the day. And if this is the evening for you, into your night. Okay, breathe normally again. And let's get back to the present moment. Notice the room you are in. Notice any sounds in the room as you become more aware of your present surroundings. And take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, move your body back and forth and from side to side. Wiggle with your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, you come back and open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Beautiful. Well done. So wonderful. And I hope that felt empowering. I notice myself when I create those feelings and emotions, even if I'm not really meditating with you right now, just talking about it, words are so powerful. It has the same effect. You sending it outwards and it gives me more energy as well. There's that mirror effect. By sending good vibes out into the world, you receive the same amount, if not twice maybe, back. You create a good energy for yourself as well. Therefore, I always do this technique in the morning. When I get up, before I get to work, before I start my day, I do 5 minutes, sometimes 10. I set my state of being for the day. So even if I don't feel like, I don't want to go to work, I still change my state of being to a better state of being, because I know that when I go out there through the day with that state of being of joy, appreciation, gratitude, care and compassion, whatever state of being I want to be in, when I carry that with me throughout the day, it will influence the world around me. And it will give me much more flow. When I am in a state of being, if I don't change my state of being to a more positive state of being, and sometimes that is just the way it is, because we can't always be positive. Sometimes there are situations in our life where we can't be positive, but it's really a shitty situation. We can still accept it, maybe even be a little bit grateful for it. We can still do something with it. But I notice that when I am in a negative state of being, there's only blockages on my way throughout the day, and it becomes worse and worse and worse, and it goes down in a spiral. So try to think about your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, even if it is a shitty situation you are in right now, it's not good. Try to have at least a form of acceptance and know that also this will pass. After the rain comes sunshine. It's always been like that. One thing I want to notice is I talked about plants in the session as well. And that's also a good experiment you can do yourself with plants. Some people do it with rice, for example. That really shows your intention, your state of being goes over into other things around you, into reality. And when you talk nicely to plants, they will grow much better. You can do an experiment. You can talk bad things to one plant and take the plant of the same species, put it in another room and say lovely things to it. Then put them together so they can thrive in the same environment, but you have given them different intentions, and see what happens. You will notice that the plant that you gave care, compassion, gratitude, love, you talk nicely to it, will thrive much better than the other plant. It's funny how that works. Many people do that experiment at home. It's a nice way of getting proof for the science behind heart-brain coherence as well. Okay, thank you so much for joining. I hope you liked the session. During the summer, we are doing only twice a week, or no, not twice a week, every other week, a session called Love You Love Muscle. And after our summer holiday here in Norway, will be most likely back with a session every week. But now I'm doing so many sessions in groups, having real connections with people during the summer that I am less online. That's how it is. Take a wonderful rest of your evening. Be safe. Take care. And namaste. And see you back in 2 weeks. Bye bye.